Okay, let's spend a little bit more time going in depth talking about the workspace browser. You remember from Pro Tools 101, you can get to the workspace browser by coming up to the window drop-down menu and choosing workspace, or using the shortcut Option I. So I'm going to use the shortcut Option I. One thing you'll find with the workspace browser is that it can tend to get lost as soon as you start moving back and forth between your edit window and your mix window. So there is a function that allows you to keep the workspace browser on top of all of the other windows. So if you come over here to the pop-up list, down here at the bottom you'll see Keep Window on Top. With that enabled, it will keep your workspace window on top of all the others no matter what you're doing or where it's placed in your window. So that's a great feature when you're using the workspace window to drag and drop audio over video files or MIDI files or anything else into your Pro Tools session. There are a variety of places where you can actually search for data in the workspace browser. You have sound libraries. You can also search your volumes. And by volumes, I mean the various hard drives that you have listed or attached to your present system. You can see here I've got 3 or 4 different hard drives attached in addition to my main Macintosh hard drive. All of these can be searched collectively by making sure that volumes is selected, or individually by selecting them by just clicking on them. You can also search your user file or also the actual session that you're in. So if you know you have a particular audio file with a specific name, you can do a search for that. Let's talk now about the various types of search capabilities in the workspace browser. The workspace browser has 3 basic search functions. They're located right here in the workspace browser. They are simple search, advanced search, and searching your sound-based libraries. Simple search you already are familiar with from Pro Tools 110. It just enables you to search for specific named items. So if we choose volumes, we can go here and say, I'm looking for anything with the word drums in it. And in this case, it'll pull up everything including folders that has the word drums in it. We can do a more advanced search by clicking here on the advanced button, and remember it gives you the capabilities to select multiple items at one time. So you could go, I want to look for kind is audio, and then maybe after that we're going to search for something that is only a 16-bit audio file, and then maybe lastly that is has drums in the name, or we'll say bass just to be different. So we've got 2 audio files out of all of the ones on my hard drives that are audio files, 16-bit in nature, and have the word bass in them. So that is the advanced search feature. Sound-based feature works well if you have audio files or loops that have been tagged with metadata. And once you click on this, you'll see it opens up a variety of tags. You can select your sound libraries here, and then you could go through and select specific tabs based on what you're looking for. So maybe I'm looking for a synthetic bass. I'm looking for something that's dark and dirty sounding. And out of all of those options, these are the audio files that appeared. You can get rid of each of these by clicking on them or also hitting delete to remove them. Now let's look at viewing the waveforms and also auditioning files in the workspace browser. So I'm going to open up a folder here that's got a bunch of bass hits in it. And this comes from some of the sound libraries that come with the newer versions of Pro Tools. I believe it's Pro Tools 12.8 or higher. You can see I'm looking inside this bass folder. You'll notice that there are no waveforms visible here. That just means that they have not been calculated yet. As soon as you click on them or play them, then they will be calculated. So if I click on this one right here, you can see now that this bass loop is playing. It's also looping, and that's because if I right click on this play button, you'll see we have some options. Loop preview, auto preview, and spacebar toggles file preview. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn loop preview off, so that way it only plays once. So now you can see as I click on these, their waveforms are calculated and they play once. If I go back over here and right click and turn loop preview on, now they will just continue to loop until I select something else. And because I have selected auto preview, I can use my down arrows or my up arrows on my keyboard like I am right now, and they will play and they will also loop. Let's go ahead and turn loop preview off. You can also play each of these in the middle or in various spots. So if we actually go find a loop like this, we can actually play it and start it in the middle. You can see there's the playback cursor essentially, playing the loop. And when it gets to the end, it's going to either play back or loop, or it's going to stop based on the presets that you have set up right here. As soon as I turn loop preview on, then obviously it's going to loop. You can also audition the file by just clicking on the play button, or if you have enabled spacebar toggles file preview, you can hit the spacebar to start or stop your previewing loop. One of the cool things that you can do with Pro Tools is audition loops and drag them into your session while your session is playing. So if I start this session, say audio files conform to session tempo. That way these all play at my current tempo. And then I can just click on these and play a specific part. Let's grab some drums. You can see now this loop is playing along with my session. I can adjust the volume of that specific loop right here. Also turn on loop preview so it continues to play. Now you may wonder, how am I actually stopping and starting Pro Tools? I'm doing that using the 0 on the 10 keypad, which is another function. It stops and starts Pro Tools. So if I just click the space bar, it's just going to play the loop. But if I hit 0, it's going to start Pro Tools, and then all I have to do is select something. And it will play along. I'm just using my up and down arrows. Down arrow. Kind of works actually. If I wanted to, then I could take this, and you remember from prior lessons, shift, click, and drag this into my session. That kind of worked good. Let's drop it here in section B. That's kind of cool. Yeah, maybe I'll leave that in there. So that is how you audition and playback and also preview in context.